Now, say my name.
The Rolling Bad Podcast.
You're goddamn right.
Welcome to the Rolling Bad Podcast, episode number 68, coming to you from the desolate wastelands of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're recording on Saturday, May 11th, and I am your host, Elric. With me tonight is...
Bill, as always.
Yep. Just the two of us again.
Yes. He's still playing around on the beach.
Yep.
A ginger Scotsman. On the Manila beaches. I can just imagine what he's going to look like when he comes back.
His skin will be redder than his hair.
It'll be fun to watch. But hey. So, there's really not much going on, is there?
No, another dead couple weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, you know? It's like they're not even hardly supporting this hobby anymore.
I know, we're going to have to start talking about Fortnite or something.
Yeah.
To fill the time.
Yeah. Hey, that'd be great, though.
Oh, God.
So, in the intro, I want to hit you with a real surprise, not like most of the surprises I hit you with.
Okay.
So, I did let the cat out of the bag a couple of days ago, but you got some fan mail.
Oh, yeah. I'd completely forgotten about this. Oh, God.
Good.
Oh, no.
So, I got a package in the mail.
Oh, okay.
It winged its way all the way here from Canada, from a certain Tristan Gray, who we all know and love. So,
okay.
He told me I could open the package because there was a secret message.
Okay.
And I got it. I'm like, all right, I think you'll get it too. But anyway, here's the box.
What's I didn't in look the box.
I don't know, but he wanted to hear your reaction.
Oh, God.
So react.
Let's see what it's going to make for great radio at first.
See, you just took away the secret message.
Holy cow.
What is it?
That is a great rack. That is a Forge World Troll Hag.
Yes, it is.
Holy crap. Oh, man. Do I need to read it on, read the message?
Is there something in there?
Yeah, there's a note.
Oh, cool. Well, get the note out.
Oh, jeez. That is bad, man. Okay. Let me read the,
Read the note.
Okay. This is going to be filled with puns, isn't it?
Gee, I don't know. It's Tristan.
Dear Rolling Bad Boys, I hope this package finds you well. I'm so very thankful for all the hard work you guys put in to share your fun with the community. Living in a small place with mostly strange halflings who only come out of their basements to yell things in my ear while I play with my war dollies at the game shop. It's nice to hear some fun and half normal folks.
Wow, he gives us a lot of credit.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you only knew. Hope this princess treats you well. Your man in the East, Tristan Gray. P.S. This is for Elric. I expect to see it painted. Oh, man.
Well, there might be something coming that can help with that. We'll cover that later.
Yeah, that is true. Yep. Oh, man. Thank you, Tristan. That is...
There was a secret message in there for me. I don't know if you noticed, but the shrink wrap.
The shrink wrap. Nice.
Tristan, you're a good man.
Oh, man. That model is bad. I don't think I've really seen one up close in person.
Well, now you get to hold it in your hot little hands.
Yeah. Getting all hot and bothered with them boobies.
Hey, come on. This is a family show.
So, somebody brought this up in the Troggoth WhatsApp chat.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So, enlarged breasts means that it's for breastfeeding, you know?
Yeah.
And giving birth to live young. So, does that mean trolls give birth to new trolls? Is that how reproductive
troll
stuff works? Do we want to get into that?
That could be a lore episode on its own.
Yeah.
The reproductive capabilities of trolls.
Of the trogs. In which case, how do trog, what do they do to get each other?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What would foreplay be like?
Yeah, I think that's an episode in the making.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a special episode.
Yeah.
Episode 68A.
Damn, man, that is awesome.
Well, that is super cool. That is way cool.
I was just looking at all the detail, all the scales and warts and...
Boy, I bet you Girly Girl put a paint job on that. Damn.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, this will be one that I give to her and say, take your time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Make that one pop. Big Mama.
Hey, she needs loving too. Needs to find herself a good troll, man. So cool. Thank you, Tristan.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Tristan. That is awesome. Thank you very much.
All right. So as always, in the intro, we also want to hawk the Summertime Slaughter. It's coming up July 27th through July 28th out there in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania at the Gamers Heaven. Definitely, if you're out in that area, take a look. I'm not sure if he's sold out yet, but I'm not going to say we're going to have the interview on because I say that every episode and it doesn't seem to work out because usually it's mostly my fault.
Well, life happens.
We also have the Bug Eater GT. That is out there in Omaha, Nebraska, May 31st to June 2nd. And you can go to the website there, gt.bugeatergames.com, and find out more about that. Hopefully we'll get those TOs quickly. And a side note, Animosity is that same weekend, the narrative campaign, the worldwide campaign. It's also that May 31st to June 2nd weekend. So we're coming up to 3 weeks on that bad boy. And we're not going to be able to get Alex on. He's just too busy with preparation and all that other stuff to... This sort of thing takes time to do, and he needs his free time to put Animosity together. But if you're interested in a worldwide narrative campaign, or even just, using it as a baseline to run your own local stuff, go out there to animositycampaigns.com and take a look at all the stuff Alex has put together to just the lore that he's typed up and put together. And Aaron Bostian is helping him out with it. But I'll tell you what, it's amazing how much work is on that website. And it's definitely worth a look. Even if you're not going to run it or, take part in it, it's worth it just to see where people go with their narrative ideas and what they think and what they come up with. And who knows, it might help your narrative. It might help inform your ways of doing things. So use it as a springboard. Even if you don't want to participate this time around. Yeah, Alex has said he's going to be running multiples of these. This isn't a one-time deal. So we will probably definitely do some coverage after the fact. And hopefully he'll have some time to talk with us and let us know what his plans are going forward. So I also have a note here in the intro that you need to pay for Flying Monkey Con. Did you pay them yet?
I have not.
Okay.
So I will literally do that live on the air.
Okay, so we're airing the dirty laundry right now. Pay for Flying Monkey. Aren't you glad you told me to remind you?
Yes, I knew I was going to do this. I've requested the time off of work and everything.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to talk about Flying Monkey Con while you pay the man?
Sure. Flying Monkey Con is an event that I will be going to. What else did you want
to... does it have dates and maybe a location? It's really late at night, folks, and we both had a busy day. So,
yes.
Yeah. If we're a little off the mark today, please forgive us. We don't have our Ryan here to pull us back in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm noticing, which is weird? We're getting a lot of subs on YouTube. I mean, I'm getting like 1 or 2 a day of people subscribing on YouTube. And it does make sense. I consume a lot of my stuff through YouTube. Just because I can bring it in here. You don't have to look at the screen. There's nothing on there. It's a podcast. But it's a really good Mitzi and Jimbo. I don't get to consume their video feed a lot.
Yeah.
Because I don't have, an hour to just do nothing and watch a video. And, I want to watch Mitzi and Jimbo when it's on. I want to watch what they're doing because they're entertaining as all hell. So it's really fun to be able to pick it up on YouTube and just have it playing in the background and But they're also doing it as a podcast now, which is great. That's how I'm consuming it on the way back and forth to work. Because my problem is I'll tune into Mitzi and Jimbo on YouTube in here, and I'll quit painting and just watch the show. So I have decided that I have switched them to my Overcast, and I listen to them back and forth to work.
Nice.
Yeah. So just as a side note, Flying Monkey Con, the largest wargaming event in Kansas. It's in Wichita, Kansas at the Hotel Broadview, June 21st through June 23rd, 2019, of course. So, and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will be there.
And Elric will be there. So, and you do get your tickets through Best Coast Pairings. The links are on the website. So if you go to flyingmonkeycon.com, you can get the link for any of the events that you want to take part in. And there's a whole long list of events. You got 40K, Age of Sigmar, of course. That's why we're covering it. There's a 40K friendly, a 30K narrative, Kings of War tournament, a Friday night joust. So that would be Imperial Knights for 40K. And those are always fun too. They got Friday night Shadespire, which is good because I got my butt kicked on Saturday night. So maybe I would do better on a Friday night. Who knows? They have an X-Wing tournament, an Infinity tournament. So there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a regular con, not just a, 1 or 2 game event.
Payment successful. There you go. On air.
Live. You heard it here first. Flying Monkey Con ticket purchased. So I think we've hawked the different events. As far as what the show content is going to be all about, we are going to cover what has to be one of the most awesomest Warhammer Fest drops in, I don't want to say a long time, but for the last month or two. I mean, the Warhammer Fest, the announcements out there were just amazing. So we are going to wax poetic on a lot of that stuff. Then we're going to move on. Going to talk a little bit about some creation and some battle stuff. I had a few fights, a few games tonight, as a matter of fact. And we're also going to talk a little bit about Slaanesh. We were going to talk a lot about the lore today, but pre-fac, I think we want to hold off on our coverage of it because I don't think we want to get all that salty. But we do want to talk about some of the things that we're seeing and the community is seeing. It's one of those deals where I don't doubt that the big issues are going to get fixed. And I think the little issues are more perception than they are reality. So, but we'll have to take a look. And of course, time will tell. So, you ready to move on to, the Warhammer Fest?
Yeah. Sink our teeth into that banana.
Yeah, just a little bit. As far as new stuff and pre-orders for this week, the only pre-orders that I saw were Elites for Kill Team. The Elite book is coming out. There's a map expansion that was up for pre-order and a couple of mobs. There was the Death Guard Kill Team and there was another Kill Team. And I'm drawing a complete blank. Oh, yeah, so there was another Kill Team too.
Oh, wasn't it Zinch? The Rubik Marines?
Was it? I don't know. Actually, no, and I don't want to lie. So I know I ordered the Death Guard. Because why not? Mm-hmm. But then they also had they had some interesting stuff. They had like playing cards for the Horus Heresy. They had coasters. It was just a weird release week. So just a lot of different stuff, but nothing really too major. Of course, if you've been living under a rock and you haven't heard, Loon Curse got delayed. And a lot of people that had ordered it on eBay, their favorite eBay sellers and stuff like that, and even some stores didn't get their allotments. So they released a video, which...
No, you're talking Sylvaneth.
Oh, yeah, the Sylvaneth book. I did mix the two of those.
Yeah.
Loon Curse was sold out.
Yeah,
That's why.
They poo-pooed the bed on that one. They admitted that at Warhammer Fest.
Yeah, it was just way more than they thought.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because when you think about it, it's Gloomspite Gets and Sylvaneth. Those are reasonably popular factions.
Yeah, I mean, Gloomspite maybe not so much, but man,
Sylvaneth was huge.
Yeah, and when you put that character in there, I mean
and breathe new life into the whole range.
Yeah,
that was going to sell.
It's kind of. It happens.
They admitted, and they also, they talked about how the actual Sylvaneth book, which is the next one up, has gotten delayed by some shipment stuff,
issues.
and I guess it was a customs issue or something.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
something they'd never dealt with before. They'd never had come up, so they were frantically trying to get things figured out. But they did a great video with Adam as, a gardener, and it was pretty funny. But in one of our chats, we were like, Steve Foote, they stole your gardener thing. And he's like, I'm sending my lawyers.
Yeah.
Which he's not really, but And if you don't know, Steve Foote did a thing for South Coast GT last year or the year before, where he did a whole bunch of intro videos that were done like a gardening show out there in England. And they were hilarious. It was amazing the amount of work he put into that. And so, he just caught a little bit of hell for that. And,
so basically 60,000 copies of the Sylvaneth Battle Tome got stolen by Somali pirates.
Oh my God.
That's probably what happened.
They're going to hold them hostage.
Yeah.
And this will actually, it won't be a government reaction. It'll just be a whole bunch of angry hobbyists, and that's something they're not ready for.
Yep.
Oh my God, it's a nerd herd. What do we do? We don't have enough ammo to kill them all.
The sales for Sylvaneth have really spiked in North Africa for some reason.
Well, everybody's got the battle tome.
Yeah.
So, shall we just move into Warhammer Fest? Because you want to do it in the order, the bottom up, the way they released the things.
You tell me what you want to do, Bill. What you're comfortable with.
I'm just going to go from the release. I'm going to just ignore what we have written down here.
Oh, sweet.
And
because this wouldn't be easy at all to follow.
Fine.
Right, yeah.
So
let me pull out my phone. And
we'll do it from the list because I went through the trouble of printing it for you. God dang. Anyway, I don't want to tell you guys what he did to me earlier this evening. It was time to set up the room for the podcast. And what did he do? Oh, I want to go out and eat. Why don't you set up everything, like you always do?
Yeah. A precedent has been set. I told you, Bill. You have chosen to carry this burden for the last 2.5 years and not ask for any help. So don't do it now. That would just be selfish of you.
I slave over a hot mixer every day.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to take that away from you.
Yeah, you better not.
Yeah. So...
Anyway, going in the list that we made. So they announced the General's Handbook 2019. So as always, the GHB is going to be another butt-kicking good time. They're going to concentrate again on the 3 ways to play. They've made some quibbling announcements about that mercenary ally rule stuff.
Yeah.
So, and it sounds like we can all calm down a little bit. It's not going to be, you can cherry pick the best of everything and make Age of Sigmar soup armies.
Right.
It's going to be reasonably.
Yeah, Vince did a recap video.
Yeah.
He's over there right now.
Yeah.
And over at Warhammer Weekly.
Yeah.
Talks about the GHB and some of the stuff they announced there, and then also the contrast paints, which we'll touch on later. But he was saying that it's not going to be soup. They're aware of what soup is, and they don't want that. Instead, what it's going to be is a handful of units or armies or whatever. I think it sounds like units for each of the 4 Grand Alliances that can be taken, with a narrative spin on them.
Right.
And I'll admit, like when I first saw it, it freaked me out a little bit too, because I was like, oh boy, here we go. You're going to be able to just take whatever you want.
Yeah, and cherry pick.
Which I'm not a fan of whatsoever.
No.
In match play. But it sounds like this is something that they are taking a measured approach to.
Yeah.
And 2 things. One is we kind of already had access to that to a degree with the Firestorm stuff, with like Tempest Eye and all that.
Sure.
You don't see people taking that stuff like crazy.
It hasn't gone crazy.
And also, the game is what we make it and what we decide to play with.
Right.
And if this turns out to be a negative play experience, then at major events, TOs will just say...
TOs will fix it.
We're not going to... We just won't add that little bit from the GHB. Moving on. Like, it's that easy to solve, really.
And they always say it at the top of the GHB. All of this stuff is, mix and match. Add what you want. Take away what you want. Don't sweat it. Now, the other thing that we were talking about a little earlier was this could be a huge plus for certain armies. And I'm thinking of you, Beast Claw Raider bros.
Oh, yeah.
you give Beast Claw Raiders the ability to take some mooks, some, regular battle, or probably not going to be battle line, but some bodies.
Yeah.
And they'll become much more effective with just that one little change. So who knows? I'm going to hold off and read it and judge it like everybody else. I'm not going to go nuts and scream bloody murder and sky is falling about it. So
you're just going to buy a whole bunch of Skaven clan rats to go with your Beast Claw Raiders.
Sure. I think that would be awesome.
I'm just kidding.
Rats and elephants. So the other thing about the General's Handbook 2019 is they're taking all the match play points part of it and they're separating it from the main book.
Yeah.
And it's coming as a separate pamphlet. Now it's coming with the General's Handbook. It's not like you have to pay extra for it. It's coming
that
with
was
it.
something else they were very clear about.
Yeah. But that's huge because that means when there's an update or they want to make a change, they could throw that little pamphlet in a White Dwarf. They could release it. They could just send 200 of them to every store and say, hand them out. Anybody that wants one gets one because they could absorb that small printing cost. We're only talking, few pages, maybe 8 pages, 10 pages. So, and again, they could put something like that online and update it a lot more often than something the size of the GHB or, because of the distribution methodology going through iTunes. And it's not easy. I mean, they can update it reasonably easy enough, but not as much fun. So I'm thinking this is a harbinger of a new way of thinking about their distribution mechanic for the points in the game, which can only be a good thing.
Yeah. As long as it's just easily accessible.
Yeah.
Really. I mean,
well, if you send it out to all the flagship stores, let's say they make a change 3 months into the thing after the mid-fac, and they want to get that out. They send, 200 copies to every flagship store and 50, 60 copies to all their distributor stores. Right. And you've made a good faith effort to put that thing in everyone's hands. And if you charge $3 for it, I don't think anybody's going to lose their mind. If you give it away free, even better. Maybe you make it downloadable or you pay $2 or $3 for the pamphlet. So I don't care. I would pay $5 for the updated pamphlet, but I would also download it for free if they made it that way.
Yeah, it does make me wonder if maybe instead of waiting a whole 12 months to get points updates, if maybe we'll get them every 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe timing with the FAQ, they're going to be able to do that. And that can only be a good thing.
Yeah, I certainly think so. I mean, there's the potential that you kind of overcorrect maybe here and there, but then again, 6 months from now, they'll get back on it.
Yeah, it's,
because there are times, because I made this point with when I was trying to get the Iron Jaws to work up at Randy Fest.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, man, some of the stuff is just outrageously overcosted.
Yes.
And the fact that it has to languish for 12 months before it potentially gets updated.
A change.
It's like, well, if that cycle is a little quicker, then it might be able to help keep some armies that are slipping behind that they don't have any plans to do a full-on update for. It can kind of keep them in the loop a bit.
Yeah, keep them relevant.
More. So, yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, can only be a good thing, really. So, also in the Age of Sigmar world, Warcry.
Yes, so I'm getting more and more hyped about this.
Yeah.
I was really excited at first when they said it was basically Kill Team for AOS.
Yep.
And then when they were like, well, it's all chaos, I was like,
bummer.
And then they were like, no.
Yeah. Just wait.
Yeah. It'll support everything. I was like, all right, well, I'm back on board. And that has just gone up and up.
Yeah, it's been doubling. I mean, every time they do a new warband, you're just like, what the?
Gorgeous models.
And, they don't do any of this stuff in a vacuum. So we're getting a glimpse of where things are headed. Now, maybe not this year, but within the next 2, 3, 4 years, good Lord, this stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
And they're doing it right. They've got the hype train left the station with me on it.
Yeah.
And I'm a fanboy. I mean, it wasn't hard, but
yeah. This is also something that Vince talks about in depth quite a bit. And I don't want to just parrot everything he said. You know, he's the one that put the time and effort into doing his show. So definitely check out his coverage of the event.
Warhammer Weekly, Vince Venturella. I'll put the link in the show notes to get to Vince's stuff.
Yeah.
Because, he flew over to England for this, so he should get the...
He's there in person. He's the one asking the questions. And
he should get the hits.
Right.
So, but Warcry is definitely... It's... I don't know, over the top? Sure.
Because it's just words.
Yeah.
Because Skirmish was so cool.
Yeah.
Right? And Age of Sigmar just screams for that style of play as well.
Yeah.
So for them to really dial it in as its own game, but you get to use your own models, because the 9 factions that aren't Chaos that will be supported by the game in the beginning, they came out and said you're not getting any new models.
Right.
It's just using stuff in your collection. So, which is really cool, because I like being able to just use models I already have to play in your game like this, but it also lends itself to getting updated stuff later.
Right. Yeah.
Also.
And, that's one of the beauties of Kill Team is you can use what you've already got and play in a new way. That was the key of that game. Yes, you can buy the Kill Teams if you don't have... orcs, you can buy the orc kill team and be playing. But, if you already have 75,000 points of orcs, well, guess what? You have a whole new way to mess around with them.
Yep.
So, and that's going to be what Warcry looks like. Use what you have in a new way that's fun. Same thing with Skirmish. I had, we had a blast in our Skirmish game up there that we played, that the team Skirmish.
Oh, yeah.
That was a blast. I have a feeling this is going to be right down the same vein.
Yeah. But hopefully more balanced. Too,
yeah.
Because there's some stuff in Skirmish that's a little bit.
Yeah, you can go over the top and, like anything else, people are going to find a way. But also there's going to be a season 3 for Warhammer Underworld. Yep. And the logo is on the page and it's completely blacked out. So we don't know where it's going to be yet. Season 3 is on the way and features loads of new war bands. First look at one member of an all-new war band. And, it's a lionish thing.
Yeah.
So could it be, I don't know, maybe Beasts for a Stormcast faction or something? Because it's armored. It's got armor plates on it.
Rotate that bad boy around. Let me see that real quick. See if it's similar to...
It's not a Gryph-hound.
Because High Elves used to ride do the lion thing back in the world that was. So I wonder if... And there's mention in the Slaanesh book of Teclis amassing a army of elves in Hish, the realm of light. So who knows? Maybe this will be our first glimpse at that.
Could be that would be really cool to get an idea of what the high elves are going to look like.
Yeah.
So
light elves.
Light elves. I'm sure they will change the name.
Where do you think Underworlds will take place in the next?
We were talking about that earlier in the chat. I would almost say if it looks like this, it's probably Hish.
Yeah.
It'll probably be, why not? Because either that or it's going to be somewhere tied to the Slaanesh storyline. I'd almost bet. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think just to, keep things flowing and tie it together, or maybe they're willing to just expand all these threads at once. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if they go anywhere. They have the resources to do all this stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
They can have multiple storylines going, and it doesn't seem to bother them because Soul Wars is still going on, and we're finding out more and more about Slaanesh.
Yep.
And it ain't pretty. I mean, it's pretty, but it ain't pretty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's... this is just... I hate to keep saying things like this, but this is a flippin' golden age, and we should freaking enjoy it while we have it.
Absolutely.
You know,
is there a faction that you're excited to see potentially get a warband for Underworlds?
I would actually like to see a Seraphon. You know,
wow, yeah,
a reimagined kind of Seraphon. But I'm dying to see the new, you know, like you said, the high elves or the light elves, the techless kind of Tyrion, or what's his name, elves?
Techless elves, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I didn't even snap to Seraphon.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that would be...
Because if they have new stuff...
A couple of skinks, maybe, like a chameleon skink and a Saurus guard.
Can you imagine a chameleon skink that can just go from one place on the map to another?
Yeah.
And then just... Yeah, anyway.
How about a Ripperdactyl?
Oh my god.
It just zips
takes
around.
Up 2 hexes.
Yeah. Or a Croxagore type.
Yeah. Croxagore is your main fighter.
Because you got Mollog already. So
Yeah.
you can do big, nasty dudes in that.
The sky's the limit. And, you know, I've almost given up predicting what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
Because they come from left field all the time. And it's awesome. It's awesome.
Wonder if we'll get a Bone Splitters one.
Good.
That'd be cool.
That would be really cool. And they're showing that they're not averse to, you know, there's 2 different Chaos war bands, and they're completely different.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of different Stormcast, and they're completely different in play style. So it's not, you know, I wouldn't be too surprised to see something that's already out there, but in a whole different way of imagining it.
Vampires.
Well, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you have the dead with the, what's his name?
The skeleton guy.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of that warband all of a sudden.
Yeah. And then you got the...
Then you have Thorns of the Briar Queen, which are Night Haunt. So, yeah, what about some vampires? What about something else? So, I mean, I think we found out that they said at the show there is still one more book for each major faction.
For each of the 4
For each of the 4
yeah. And I don't know if Sylvaneth counts as the Order one.
It might be the Order one, or it might not.
Yeah.
And
I would think it doesn't if they address the Sylvaneth shipping issue and then
said that.
And again, it's only May.
Right.
So
can you imagine this? We're only in month 5, and we have all this new stuff to play with.
Yeah.
Good God, I can't keep up. Cannot keep up.
It's so weird. You think about when AOS dropped, we did like a 8 or 10 month drought with really nothing.
Nothing of note.
The game dropped, and then it was like, okay, we'll go play with 40K now. You guys enjoy this new game with no points and like no background or anything.
Yeah, the lore is...
That feels so long ago, but that was just a couple of years ago.
It really was.
Wow.
And,
yeah.
you know, you look at all those mistakes that were made and how they learned from them for the 40K release.
Yeah.
And how they have corrected.
They've just kept that Zamboni rolling.
You know, good Lord. Anyway, let's keep moving on. Because we could just sit there and talk about how cool these guys are all night long. And nobody wants to hear that. Well, I mean, I want to hear it, but... also, there's some Blood Bowl, the Hobbits.
Yeah.
The Blood Bowl team.
And what looked like some kind of elf or...
Yeah. So get used to this player. You'll see her throwing touchdowns into your end zone a lot. She won't be alone either. Wood Elf Blood Bowl team. Yeah. So the Wood Elves are getting it. And that sculpt, I mean, this is a 3D image, and I'm in love.
Swing.
Yeah. I want to interview her.
Post-game interview.
Yeah. I want to get in the locker room. But anyway, I mean, that is just cray. And of course, they show another Wood Elf that looks more like a sprite, a Dryad star player. So, Blood Bowl just keeps chugging along.
Yep. That is a fanatic fan base.
Oh, rabid. And, it's kind of funny how they release stuff for Blood Bowl and it sells out crazy fast. Yeah. And it just, you have to go searching for some of this stuff sometimes. Then there's also Necromunda stuff. And if you're a Necromunda person, player, fan,
Yep.
stuff is amazing.
Yep.
Absolutely amazing. Ryan is going to absolutely flip out because
Heads.
the Delac heads
Yeah.
are going to be released. And so he'll be able to add to his head collection. But yeah, those are just the Necromunda stuff. Over the top.
So, new Reaver Titan upgrade set and stratagems and dice and terrain. Oh my.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of releases for Adeptus Titanicus is just over the top. So now all the Reaver Titans are going to have upgrade sprues just like the Warlord Titans got. So you can mix and match the weapons the way you feel. And they're also coming out with the Loyalist and the Traitor stratagem deck. So stratagems for both sides. And of course, the attendant decal sheets. There's more command cards, command thingy doohickey things.
Okay.
Yeah, those things coming out so that you can customize your mana pools and make them the way you want instead of using the standards. So,
Okay.
And then dice sets for Loyalist and
Yeah, I saw those. Those look good.
yeah, those are very, very cool. And those are multi-use too, because you can use those for a lot of different things. And then the terrain kits that they're coming out are just, wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's some good terrain.
and when you think about it, that's a line of terrain that doesn't fit with anything else that they sell.
Yeah.
That scale is completely different. So I often get worried about Adeptus Titanicus and maybe, maybe it's not selling enough to generate new interest and new effort from production. And no, they're
Yeah, it seems to be doing just fine.
just fine because they're sinking money into it.
Now, have you assembled any of your Titans for it yet?
Just the little ones.
Oh, the little
Just
armigers or whatever?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
not even the armigers, the Imperial Knight houses. So
So, how easy would it be to, magnetize the weapons and all that stuff?
it's actually super easy. Most of the stuff that you need is already there.
Okay.
Like the notches and the posts are. I think they pretty much had it in mind when they made those kits that
Nice.
people were going to want to magnetize this stuff. That's why those sprues are coming out. It's
Okay.
because it's super easy to and you can change your loadout on the fly, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And when you think about it, releasing those upgrade kits is a kick in their own pocketbook. Because if they said, no, if you want a Warlord Titan with this loadout, here's that set, here's that kit with that loadout, go ahead and pay full price for it.
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, they're letting you have they're selling you the sprues with all the different weapons, and you can mix and match to your heart content. So actually, that sort of hits them in the pocketbook.
Does it, though? Because if you create a barrier of entry that's so
That's right.
high, then you're not going to sell
You're not going to get new
anyways.
players.
I mean, it's that idea of do I have to sell 100 of these things for $1 a piece or just one of them for $100?
Yeah.
But nobody's going to want to drop $100 on it. So
That's right.
So,
they're going down the right road.
yeah.
You're going to keep interest in the game going a lot longer by making it so flexible
Yeah.
and so amazing.
Which I think is what you have
Using
to
that term
do.
again.
Because like you said, the terrain doesn't match your 40K stuff. This is a whole different game. You're not using models you already
Right.
had. You want to make it as easy as possible to get into it,
Yeah.
I think.
And that's what they've done. That's what all these flexible kits, you look at all the terrain, it's all modular. Absolutely everything works with everything else.
Yeah.
And all of this new stuff looks exactly the same. A lot of it is scattered terrain. Some of it is big terrain, but none of it interferes with or blocks off any of the other stuff. So yeah, it's just,
Good times.
it's fun. We're just I'm personally just geeking out over here.
Well, how could you not? I mean, it's Warhammer Fest.
It is.
And the way they did it this year, because when they do announcements
so
and
much
stuff at
better.
LVO or at Adepticon or even some of the events they've had over in the UK, They just basically blow their wad at once and
Yeah.
then, kind of do an FAQ afterwards.
Mhm.
They talk about everything that's coming out for all the
Right.
systems. Whereas this was broken up into different seminars. So everything for AOS was talked about in a
In
seminar.
a separate seminar.
Everything for 40K was a separate seminar. Everything for
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Ring or Middle Earth was separate. Everything for the other smaller games like Necromunda and Blood Bowl and all that stuff
Yeah.
was separate. So it allowed them to give the attention to those announcements that should be there. Plus, do FAQs.
Yeah.
Not FAQs. It'd just be a Q&A.
Q&A session.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, as a public service announcement, if you go to one of those, reveal shows at one of the conventions, I'm not saying Warhammer Fest, but if you're at the one at LVO or Adepticon or Nova, keep in mind the kind of questions that these guys are going to answer. Okay. They're going to want to answer, they're only going to answer questions about the stuff they just announced. They're not going to give you the stat lines, and they're not going to tell you all the special rules that apply to each thing. And they're certainly not going to entertain questions about, well, when are my Bretonians coming back? Are we going to get Tomb Kings again? No. If they didn't announce it, they're probably not going to. Okay, they're not going to answer those questions. Don't waste everyone's time asking stupid questions. And the questions that are stupid are pretty obvious.
Yeah.
If they didn't just talk about it, it's not on their menu. Don't ask.
And even the stuff they're being really vague about, like Sisters of Battle, we know they are coming,
Yes.
but don't sit there and, when?
Can you give me a date? Can you tell me what the stat line for the average sister is going to be?
What all are we getting for them? It's like, well, you're getting the army. Just, you got
That's
to be
right.
patient. They're not going to. Yeah, it's just kind of.
And the thing is they always tell you this at the beginning of those announcements. And they still get questions like, when are the Tomb Kings going to get re-released?
Never.
Okay, they're not. It's over. Go away.
Yep.
Stop.
Yep.
So, just PSA. Yeah. And I know, I'm sorry I went maybe a little off, but it just bugs me when people waste everyone's time in that room with a question that they usually take 5 minutes to build up to, talking about some awesome event that they had. Yeah. Okay.
Hashtag triggered.
Breathing in, breathing out. Okay. So then they did some Horus Heresy stuff.
Yeah, so talk to me about this, because all I saw... Oh, actually, I saw there's a ton of sweet models that got shown for this.
Yeah.
And some hype that didn't... Last time I looked, didn't get delivered on yet. I don't know if they'll announce the stuff tomorrow.
Well...
A lot of speculation that they'll show another Primarch.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe... I don't know why you wouldn't do it at Warhammer Fest. Maybe it's going to be the big end of show reveal.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but there is a, oh boy. So it was all about the Malevolence, the book 8 drop for Horus Heresy, and just the models that came out. I mean, they're covering the White Scars stuff,
some Blood Angel
stuff, the Chapter Master. For the Blood Angels, Chapter Master Raladoran. He's one of the heroes of the chapter from, Horus Heresy era. And he's getting his own fig that, oh my God.
How about those freaking demons?
Yeah, how about everything? The land speeders, the jet bikes, but then those demons? Yeah, they are.
I think those steal the show.
They're pretty close. I'm looking at those things going, there's a lot of AOS people, Corn players, who are going to buy those for Korgoroths.
Yeah.
Because they are just amazeballs.
Yeah.
I mean, they are... You're going to see these in 40K armies. You're going to see these in AOS armies. You're going to see them certainly in Horus Heresy armies. Just amazing.
Makes me wonder... So in the Malevolence book, where are we with the story?
We're at the White Scars, Blood Angels, fighting... absolutely everywhere, and they're not heading to Terra quite yet. So
but at this point, like Mortarion has become a demon prince. Lorgar is a demon prince.
And they're
Fulgrim. So does that mean we're going to start getting demon prince Primarch?
Could very well be. I noticed one thing about Book 8, Malevolence. The pace seemed faster.
Okay.
I almost think they're trying to speed these books up a little bit to catch up with the Horus Heresy
Black Library
fiction timeline.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying by any means that it wasn't good. It's just that in the other one, they devoted, like, if there was a major battle, it would get 5-10 pages. In this one, they would cover it more along with a timeline and a lot of snippet coverage and, talk about the battle in detail like they normally do, but it would be 6 pages, 5 pages, and then you'd move on to the next event. And so it's still very, very good, but it's definitely, I think they're accelerating the pace a little bit. They want to, I'm not saying the release schedule, but I think they want to get caught up with where the fiction is, or at least in the same era.
Yeah.
Which is a silly thing to say, but
Coming from the company that spent 3 books on the Siege of Vrax.
Yeah.
One campaign. Yeah.
Yeah. But those were amazing.
Yeah. That old school Forge World stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah. That Siege of Vrax was, wow. Fun. Good times.
Yeah.
One of the things that really tickled my fancy was some of the info they brought out about Apocalypse for 40K.
Okay.
I know this is AOS podcast and we can't cover this too much, but it just looks like, oh my God, is this going to be cool?
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things I saw, and they harped on, obviously, because they put it in the blog entry, is all damage is going to take place at the end of the round. So no more putting your Titan or your Thunderhawk on the table only to watch the other guys get the first turn and they blow it off the table because they know what it can do, and you never get to play with your toy. So you'll at least get to play with your toys now.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's such a simple fix, simple mechanic. Yeah,
Prevents a lot of feel badsies.
It does. I mean, because how many times have you, done Apocalypse and you have your one big...
You're super heavy.
Yeah, thing.
It doesn't get to do anything.
And yeah, it gets blasted off the table.
Yep.
So, well, now you'll get to play at least one turn with it. So you can blast their super heavy that blasted you.
Yep.
So anyway, that's Apocalypse. The Primaris Marines got a heavily gunned transport. Yep. The Repulsor, what do they call it? Repulsor Executioner. Has a lot of different weapon loadouts, so you can kind of customize it. It looks like that one screams for magnets as well. So yeah. And it kind of looks like it's easy to do. Yeah, I think this is in direct answer to all the demon machines that have been coming out. The Marines needed something to help them. Yeah. And it carries a squad of Marines, so that can't hurt. There was an AdMech hovercraft.
Yeah. So Adeptus Mechanicus finally have a transport.
Yeah. And it's a hovercraft.
Yeah.
Can't wait to storm the beaches of Normandy with that thing.
Hey, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. We're going to get that forbidden knowledge that Hitler had.
It's a beautiful model.
Yeah, it is.
It's just gorgeous.
I love how unique it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's so cool looking. Yeah, and it's about time AdMech got something fun to play with.
Yep.
That was different. What was next?
Chaos Knights.
Oh, yeah. The anti-Duncan faction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 2 new knight kits for Imperial Knight, for Renegade Knights, along with all of the, what do they call them? Knight Rampager and Knight Despoiler, with all the appropriate spiky bits put all over the place. So again, this probably model will be hellish to play with and hellish to build, because you will probably spear your fingers multiple times. So, but if it doesn't draw blood, it's not chaos, right?
Yep.
And then they're getting their own codex. So,
yeah, full on codex for Chaos Knights.
And it's going to fold everything in, the stuff that was out there already is going to get folded into that, but they're going to get stratagems, the whole 9 yards. So they'll be a fully realized faction to play with. And can you imagine a Imperial, or just, a Renegade Knight with Veterans of the Long War? Yeah, I just saw your eyes get real wide.
Wow.
Yeah, they're going to... Yeah. I mean, I bet you it's not going to be the same Veterans of the Long War, but it'll be something similar, and damn. So.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Going to be interesting.
Next up, was Our Lady of the Holy Crap. There's finally a model for Sisters Battle.
Oh, yeah. No more 3D renders. This is actually a painted model for the new line.
Yeah.
Which, so psyched. So psyched.
It's nuts. And not only is the model over the top, but I love the base too.
Yeah.
The base is just, wow. I hope that is a range of bases that they're going to come out with, alongside with the Sisters Battle, so that that can be a uniform look for them. Because that's, wow.
Yeah.
So next up, we had the releases for the Middle-earth strategy battle game.
Yeah. This is always such a treat.
It is.
I think, because these models are fan-flippin-tastic.
Yes, they are. The things that they announced right now was the next book in their war series is The Scouring of the Shire. So, going to get a lot of Hobbit characters, a lot of Halfling characters, and just the ones they showed, there's like, 1, 2, 3.
It's like 8 of them.
Yeah, there's, 8, 9, 10, 11 characters that are just, they're fun. I don't care what you say, they're going to be fun. And to build and paint. Not sure how awesome they're going to be in the game because, well, they're hobbits.
Yeah.
But then they have a kit for Bag End.
Yes.
It's just, they show you what comes in the kit, which is the resin to make the walls and the stuff that you see from the outside. It looks like you're going to have to do the mound that it's on yourself. But the one they have in the picture is just, oh my God.
Fantastic.
It is. It's so crazy. And who would have thought of that?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that would be a released piece of terrain? So, but then they have some a mounted and on foot Rohan leader. This guy, he is Darwine, chief of the King's Knights. And then they have a great classic miniature, which is Gulfenbull, who, I don't know if you remember the thing, Gulfenbull was the one that Bull Roarer took, hit so hard, he hit him so hard that his head came off. It flew 100 yards and went down a rabbit hole. Yeah. So at one instant, he not only killed him, but invented the game of golf.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's pretty... they have fun with it, and it's over the top. But now we have to come to the pièce de résistance.
Yeah.
The thing that has the whole world talking. I mean, I heard Trump and Trump and Putin were talking about it earlier. So, I don't know. It's just crazy.
I'm sure that's what they were talking about.
You don't think it was that?
Well, you know.
There's an election coming up, I guess.
Yeah. They should probably handle that.
Yeah.
Anyways. Contrast paints.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is the thing that we thought might have been a
like
airbrush.
An airbrush or something.
Yeah. A lot of signs pointed to airbrush. I am actually more excited about this.
Yeah.
Than I am a GW airbrush.
This is way better. Way.
So this is definitely something that I'm going to say check out Vince's show on, because he is a high-end painter who understands the science behind the paints as well as, you know, their applications and whatnot. So he can do a much better job explaining the whys of why they did this. I think Bill and I are just going to talk about the results we've seen online. Yeah. They had a lot of stuff at Warhammer Fest that was shown. It looks like it just has a coat of this new primer. There's two new primers. One is a
white and a gray.
Oh, yeah. And so they have a bunch of stuff that's basically just one coat of this contrast paint on top of that primer. Yeah. To show you the effect. And it is unreal.
It's shaded, it's highlighted. It's 3 steps of the old process in one thick coat.
It is short of like detail work and metallics. It's damn near the model done in one go.
Coverage. Yeah. A bloodletter is, except for the sword, is done. Yeah. And
and the teeth. Well, I don't know. There's even a white contrast paint. Yeah. That looks pretty damn good. So
I mean, you're still going to pick out, you know, like they said, this whole thing is you spray prime it with the primers. You hit it with the paint that you want. Let it dry brush for details, and you're done. Yeah. And that's it. Literally. You're talking about doing a unit of 40 in an average evening. And, if you need 200 skinks, that's maybe Saturday,
Yeah.
And how many of us don't play armies because we don't want to paint
Right.
200 mooks or, 2 units of 30 mooks?
Yeah.
Well, when this takes 90% of that work away, people are going to be playing those armies that they've kind of maybe always wanted to. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the things that are monocolor, skinks, the bloodletters.
Yeah, demons
Yeah.
come to mind real quick.
All that stuff that...
Skaven.
Skaven, another one.
Goblins.
Goblins.
Grots,
Most orcs.
Yeah.
So...
most destruction stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Death. Really, it's
Death.
just those big units. It's not until you start getting into like Stormcast and stuff where, like those sequitors have quite a bit of detail. But even then, I bet you could whip through the base coats on them pretty quick with this stuff.
Well, that's it. Is if you're painting, if the time invested for your base coat goes down to half of what it was, now you have all that time left to spend on the detail work to make it pop.
Or just getting the army done.
Yeah.
Instead of getting like halfway through it and getting burned out. Maybe this will be enough of a time saver for you to finally get across the finish line.
Yeah. And
which is huge.
If they make this work, if this does what it looks like it does, and they had real people, not, just people on the payroll doing this, real honest to God convention goers or fest goers were using this stuff under their tutelage, and they were turning out results that were like, holy crap. Yeah. That is tabletop right now.
There's quite a few pictures floating around on Twitter.
Yeah, you don't have to look very far to see the results, and they're amazing. Yeah. And you can just see where after that base was done, a little bit of dry brushing is going to bring out the details, and then, you pick out the things that you feel like you want to make different or, personalized, and you're done.
Some of us, the colors are so vibrant.
Yeah. So vibrant.
It's like, wow.
It's a game changer. And they said it was a game changer, and I was like, yeah, sure, game changer. There's so much to change in painting. But really, honestly, this could be the thing that gets the green tide off the table, or the gray tide.
Oh, man. Just thought about Bone Splitters again.
Yeah.
That would be such an easy army to crank out now.
Yeah, you're almost pretty much done inside of a few hours, and then a little bit of detail here and there, and you're on the table. You're working.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Much hype.
But definitely go to Vince Ventrella's page and hear what he has to say. He's a Golden Demon painter, and he's impressed. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. And there has been some stuff going around, especially on like Facebook, because it's such a positive place in the community, of people just kind of crapping on these paints and what they might mean to. It's like you have a tool in hand, or soon to be in hand, that is going to hopefully allow tabletop quality armies to be put out at a much faster pace.
Yeah.
So why would you be upset with that?
Because some people only are happy when they're making other people unhappy.
You can do that?
Via the anonymity of the internet.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, if you listen to the Mitzi and Jimbo show, there's actually an undercurrent within our hobby, if you didn't know about it, that might not be as, effusive and ebullient and excited as some others are in the hobby to be, taking part in something fun with other people and being part of a community.
Really?
It's very, there is a...
But why? Why would you do that, Bill? Why would you take time out of your day to just make others' lives more miserable?
Because sometimes I only feel good when other people are miserable, and I've helped make them that way. Like when I remind them that their army really does suck, and I actually bring them back down a notch from the excitement that they had over building it. Sometimes I really enjoy doing that.
You sound like a real dick.
Thank you. Herodimus P. Troll, if you don't mind. No, I mean, but seriously, we made a little bit of a joke there and we went on off tangent, but yeah, I think there really are people. And I mean, I've seen a couple of comments about how, oh, well, this is going to take the standard of painting down 3 notches because now everything's going to look like it was done with this. And I'm like, okay.
Uniform and complete?
Yeah. Because I'd much rather see gray plastic on the table or, colored plastic. That's better. That's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then people say, well, just have a painting requirement.
Yeah.
Like your army has to be painted. That's fine. But now this allows more people to attend that event.
Yeah.
Hello. If you can paint well, congratulations. Enjoy your painting trophies.
And if you have the time to do it,
yeah,
great. There's lots of people that don't meet either of those two. They don't paint well, or they don't have time.
Or is it that you don't paint as well as you think you do? And you can't win those trophies, and you're really just bitter. And now more people are bringing more painted stuff.
Because the experts that are talking about this are saying it's good.
Yeah, and it's taking eyes away from your attempts.
Weird.
Time for a little introspective.
No. This stuff is crap.
The children must be wrong.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm super hyped for this stuff. And this is the kind of stuff that might get someone like me to start painting.
Sure.
Again, because it just makes it that much easier.
Yeah. I mean, it's, I'm going to use it.
I'm going to use it to paint one of Randy's armies. Oh, yeah.
Poor Randingle.
Poor Randingle. Oh. That's what he gets.
The other thing I'm looking at too is this might be really interesting for terrain as well.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the colors and the vibrancy I think might be a little off, but I'm having to believe that if you play with it a little bit, you might be able to get some really interesting effects on terrain kits.
Well, Vince said that you don't mix this stuff with existing paints. Right. It will not work. No. But you can mix this stuff with other paints of its type. Contrast with contrast. So, yeah, you might be able to get some pretty sweet colors out.
And I'm thinking you can use this as a base. If the right colors are available, this could be a great base.
Well, there's like 30 colors.
Yeah, 34 or something. But then, after that, it's like you can do a lot with pigments and inks and washes and what have you. Once this stuff is dry, you look at everything like a filter that goes over the top of this. So, I don't know. I just, the possibilities just went doing when I saw this stuff. And I was like, wow, this is so much better than some freaking airbrush.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to it.
Very much so.
And then last but not least, I don't think this was at Warhammer Fest, but this was leaked in the White Dwarf, those AOS terrain sets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Finally, some more varied terrain for HC.
And very varied.
Yep.
Very varied.
Very varied.
It's, I was telling Andrew today, this to me is going to be, everyone's display board is just going to go up a notch because of these kits. They're so gorgeous. And not to mention the fact that, making them for terrain on the table. So, yeah, if you haven't looked at this month's White Dwarf, definitely grab a friend's copy. And, oh, by the way, Ryan, if you're listening, I picked up the White Dwarf for you already. So
he'll be back in town by the time this goes out.
I think so, yeah. But I just wanted him to know.
All right.
But, yeah, okay. Anyway.
Not like a message in our chat would have been a week faster.
Yeah. But I want him to have to wait. He made us wait for 6 weeks while he played on the beach.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And made a baby.
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah. Super lame. We have now come to the end of Warhammer Fest. And I know we spent a lot of time, but it was very cool. And for the 4 of you that hadn't heard what came out, there you go. In terms of hobby and gaming and stuff, I finished the Thorns of the Briar Queen for my paint for the store Escalation League. I did a unit of that and a unit of Chain Ghasts. So nice. on schedule for that. Yeah, I posted that up in the Facebook and the Twitters, and people seem to like the way it looked. So,
yeah, I'm looking at your carry tray of Night Haunts, and it is getting more and more full of painted models.
Yeah,
which is sweet.
That's the idea, and that's why I love this Escalation League at the store. Is it's kicking me in the butt to make sure get it out, and I don't procrastinate like I normally would. So awesome sauce. And then in the games played department, we all sat down and played some Shadespire tonight.
Yeah,
with Andrew, the 2-time winner of the Las Vegas Open, because he hates that.
Yeah.
And we played some Shadespire, and I played the new Sylvaneth faction, and he played his what's his name, Fireslayers.
Yeah.
So it was very uneven because the Sylvaneth, I didn't do anything with the deck. I played with the deck that came with the thing, except I had to add a couple of objectives.
Yeah.
So I just kind of played around a little bit and said, well, I've used these before. I know what they do. Yeah. It didn't work. It was not a pretty sight.
No.
Not.
Well, yeah, you were using your stock stuff. Meanwhile, he specifically tailored a deck to beat you. I mean, he's not here to defend himself, so.
Oh, that's hardcore.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So, he manhandled you pretty hard.
Yeah, pretty much.
Watching the game.
Pretty much. Yeah, it was ugly.
His character was running around playing whack-a-mole with
with
tree
the Sylvaneth guys. So, and I just didn't have my deck didn't develop quick enough.
Yeah.
So,
that's all right.
Against, models with a bunch of models with 4 wounds. Now they're slow, and I should have been dancing around a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I was actually just trying to go through the deck and see what cards I had. Really, because I hadn't had a chance to even study it that much. So, but I think I know what I can do. There's a few. I think it has a few tricks up its sleeve. I think maybe. So, yeah, that was kind of fun. So I think we're going to just fold it right into our lore section right now. You ready for that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we were going to talk about the pillars of the hobby, but we're not going to cover that right now because it's getting really late and that's a lengthy discussion, and we don't want to turn this into like a 3-hour podcast. So,
right. At least not this episode.
Yeah, not this one. And we also kind of want to have Ryan here to give his 2 cents. Or
who?
There's this Scottish red-haired guy. You'll meet him. You'll meet him. He's out in the foreign country right now, but he's from a foreign country too. But
are you trying to replace me, Bill?
No, not at all. No, but this guy's really cool. He talks funny though.
Sounds like an a-hole. Anyways.
So all we're going to do really is talk a little bit about Slaanesh. I mean, we're not going to go crazy on it because kind of too early maybe.
Yeah. We'll kind of earmark this one like we did.
Yeah, with
the
Fireslayer
discussion.
Yeah. So Slaanesh is breaking free. He's really on his way.
Right. He's
breaking those chains. I mean, we talked about this last time. He's breaking the chains and replacing them so that when the big 3 come in to look and see what's going on, when Malarian, Teclis, or Marathi are there, they see everything's normal, everything's good. But Bubba's getting his game on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it shows because his people are really powerful. And I don't know. There's kind of an undercurrent right now that says they're OP.
Yeah, something about 70 plus depravity points by turn 2.
That could be bad. And unlimited summoning, like you can summon as many units as you want.
Well, as long as you have the points for them.
Sure, but if you have 70...
Yeah, you don't lose all the points by summoning one unit like you do Blood Tithe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like they're playing in a different realm or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. The depravity mechanic is, I don't know, it's so powerful, and yet I don't see it as overpower. I mean, it has a markedly different effect versus something like Stormcast or Fireslayers now with the 2 wound models. So they wipe out a unit of 30. Guess what? It's 30 depravity points. Yeah. So, you take out a unit of Sequitors, you're banking points.
To be fair, you have to wipe out that 30 unit of Fireslayers with a hero.
With a hero, yeah.
Which can actually be done kind of easy.
Yeah, with that Keeper Secrets, who you can, continuously recycle.
Yeah.
He's pretty, it's pretty tough. It's, yeah. I mean, we're just seeing the very beginnings, and I tend to, the first week or so, some of these matches are put on to show the disparity in different factions, because sometimes people have agendas that they want to show.
Yeah.
So, if you want to show Slaanesh in a bad light, take them up against Stormcast and show how, hey, wiping out this unit got me 20 depravity points, and now I get to bring 2 more blood,
Right.
Same thing, you go against Fire Slayers. Yeah, we know they all come in big units now because they have 2 wounds. You're going to bank some depravity.
Yep. If you do it right.
Yeah. And, you're not always going to be facing that army. You go up against Khorne. You're designed to fight Khorne. Khorne is going to be at a disadvantage against you.
Yeah, I think Andrew made a good point the other day to me when we were talking about it. He said, if you take 2 Keepers of Secrets, they almost get a 3rd one for free, because them just dying generates enough depravity points to almost summon a 3rd one. Mm-hmm. So, if they just kill some stuff here and there, they'll make more than enough. I thought that was kind of interesting. Could you imagine putting 2 Raid Unclean ones down on the table and then getting a 3rd one later on?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they're looking at.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
And it's very, very doable, and it's not even stretching the letter of the rules. It's right there. It's how you do things. But again, all this discussion is coming out pre-fac.
Yeah.
But with things like this, you think the play test would have seen that as an effect?
Yeah.
Or, again, there were a lot of points increases across the board for Slaanesh stuff. So perhaps in their minds, that's what mitigated it. But the problem is depravity points don't use point costs, and they don't care. They're a cheap currency that you get at a rate that no other Chaos army gets.
Yeah.
And you also get them for doing nothing but playing the game. So whereas, with Khorne, you actually you're in charge of getting your own points. And then if you use them, they all go away. So
yeah, and you have to use them to generate mechanics for your army that Slaanesh just gets
automatically.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have to spend 7 blood tithe to get the standard ability that that
Slaanesh starts with. Yeah,
so
it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, but again, this is pre-fac. I think that we're seeing some tailored matchups to show the disparity. I'm not saying anybody's trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes with it, but it's, if your first game is Slaanesh versus Khorne, chances are it's going to be a bad day for Khorne.
Slaanesh versus Iron Jaws.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh,
wow.
So many depravity points. One of the things that I kind of would like to see, though, is maybe how Slaanesh would fare against like a Legion of Sacrament or a Nagash list where you just have hordes of chain rasps, single wound models.
Wound models that don't do anything for you.
Yeah, and then just for 1 command point, they all come right back. That would be, I think that would be a pretty tough matchup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think
it's going to be, I think, I truly believe Slaanesh is going to be really, really good against these elite armies. And I'm not sure that wasn't a design decision.
To drive the horde meta?
No. Just to, this is what this army is designed to counter. The counter to it is armies that aren't like that. Like you said, a whole bunch of, flesh eater courts with a whole lot of skeletons up front.
Ghouls.
Yeah. Ghouls. Yeah, cool. That's what I said. Ghouls.
Yeah.
Remember?
You didn't let me finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I know I get that, because I always wonder about the KO with that, how a certain meta rises to the top. And it's like, well, if this one army was a factor, it would help keep that in check. So, but that's the thing, though, is like small elite armies really running the game right now. I think it's big hordes like Daughters of Cain and some of the death lists and Skaven and Flesh Eater courts. I mean, that's all the stuff that's really at the top.
Rising to the top. And that's what Slaanesh isn't really good against.
Yeah, I don't know. Really, the only thing I think that's up there would be the Deepkin.
Yeah.
And that's if you take the eel heavy list.
Yeah.
The thralls are going to do all right, I would think.
Yeah, they're 1 wound.
Although I don't know, man. 2 attacks a pop, rend 1 damage, generating extra hits extra damage on hits rolls of 6.
6, yep.
Demonettes is 30 for 300 points. God.
Well, and yeah, you look at the comparison between 30 bloodletters and 30 demonettes.
Yeah, I'll take the demonettes.
Yeah, they're not even in the same zip code.
I will take the demonettes.
Yeah, because the bloodletters can't even look at them.
It's really just sheer weight of attacks. Some people say, well, yeah, with the bloodletters, when they roll a 6, it's a mortal wound on top of doing the damage from the sword. Yeah. And so what are you going to do against units like maybe Deepkin, where they have the 3 up, can't be modified, save, or you'd kind of want those mortal wounds to punch through. But when 30 demonettes, every hit roll of a 6 is 3 hits.
Yeah.
It's just weight of dice.
Yeah.
Weight of dice is just going to chew through.
Yeah, it really is. And it's
bananas. It's a lot. Ugh. It's a lot. I don't know. I mean, I want to see the army in action personally. I'm sure I will soon enough. You'll buy one, I bet. I'm just kidding.
Oh God,
no. Our buddy Zach has one, and
it's going to be interesting to see how he fares against different kinds of forces because he did take it out against Khorne, and it was that
was a non-game.
Yeah, it was. They were doing that for funsies, kind of, and to see what it could do. And that's the game where he had 75 depravity points on turn 2, the top of turn 2.
Yeah,
so that's amazing when you think about it. But I'm not willing to say it's broken or terminally OP right now because we've already determined the meta that can beat the snot out of that army.
Well, we think.
Or, that's going to have
we're not exactly
a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe they'll just chew through Night Haunt like there's no tomorrow. I don't see them getting through Nagash, like there's no tomorrow. Huh?
Weight of attacks. He'll get through Nagash.
Good. But with him bringing back all of his screens all of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a bad turn and lose it, but
when was the last time you saw Nagash really running the top tables anyways?
It's not happening, but
yeah, been a minute.
Yeah.
So,
but I think one of the things they've talked about in the past is it doesn't bother them so much if an army is powerful as long as it has a counter, as long as there's something out there,
a prevalent counter
that beats it. And I think that kind of thing keeps us from seeing what we saw at the end of 1.0, which, was either Tzeentch, there was nothing that they didn't have that counter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, there was a point in time when the Sylvaneth did not have a counter and the Kurnoth Hunters were just too damned good.
Yeah.
And so, but, those things shake out and those things have been edited out of the game.
One thing we didn't touch on was that mirror.
Oh my God.
That is
oh
wow. I don't know why they would do. I mean, it's just complicated. I think generating the damage.
Yeah.
The number of 6s rolled times the number of dice that rolled 6s.
Yeah,
equals the mortal wounds. Like what?
Like
why can't it just be the number of 6s you rolled?
Yeah. Or something.
That sounds way more normal.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being able to potentially do 36 mortal wounds to a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you even make that an option?
It made sense to someone somewhere.
I mean, there's literally only one other spell in the game that does that, and it potentially does that. No, actually, I mean, I guess in theory it could do it. And that's Curse of Years by Arcan.
Yeah.
And that's a spell on a special character.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody in your army can take that.
Yeah. Just, hi, I have that one, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And you have to keep rolling the exploding 6s on that one.
Yeah.
So This one is
which
just
is actually
like,
really hard to do.
yeah,
And, I mean, granted, rolling 6 6s is also crazy, but how many times have you seen somebody chuck 6 dice and roll like 3?
yeah,
And that's 9 mortal wounds.
that's right.
To a hero. That'll kill just about anything that's
Yeah.
not a big bad monster.
Yeah. Something that's not a general type or, a named character
Yeah.
type. So
God, that thing is nasty.
it's the effect of that whole army with the command ability stuff
Yeah.
and, the ability to turn this off, turn that off. All the while I'm generating these points. That means I'm going to end up with a 3,000 point army versus your 2,000 point army. But again, I don't want to do the Chicken Little thing and say the sky is falling and it's Disciples of Zinch all over again.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like Andrew said earlier this evening, you fix the summoning issue with a simple word change that you can only summon 1 unit per turn. And now you don't have that. Yes, you're going to bring in, that means you could conceivably have 1, 2, 5 turn game, 7, 8. 8 Keepers of Secrets.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I mean, still, realistically, you're not going to see that. So if you limit them to summoning 1 unit per turn, a lot of the issue goes away.
That's how it works for pretty much everyone else.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
But it's not codified anywhere. So,
yeah.
although for like corn, it is. Once you spend the points, they're gone.
Yep.
So you only get 1 unit. Sorry.
Whether it's 5 bloodletters or a bloodthirster.
Yeah. So, and with Nurgle, I don't believe you can bring in more than. No, I think you can. I think you can bring in whatever you have contagion points for. I'd have to relook at my rules.
So, yeah, but you're not going to get 75 contagion points by turn 2.
No. There's, but then again, my table is also slightly, easier to work with. I can start bringing in stuff at 7 points? Well, yeah. Gee, I wonder what the points is. Might be 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's issues here, but I don't think they're insurmountable. I hesitate to scream bloody murder and foul because I haven't played against the army personally. And I kind of think that if a lot of the things I've heard where it gets really weird are when they're fighting elite armies, 2 wound critters or, super elite armies,
Yeah.
the multiple wounds, and they just bank up those depravity points. But I think you can fix a lot of that with some very simple word changes, or perhaps it was as intended. Maybe these guys are out there to keep some of those elite armies in check.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so if you're going to be playing at a competitive level and you go into events and everything, you have to realize Slaanesh is a thing.
Yeah.
And therefore kind of modify your list for the potential matchup.
Well, if you look at from Flesh Eater point of view perspective, the 4 to 5 vampire or zombie dragon terror guys
Gristlegore
list.
thing,
Yeah. Do you really just want to feed the beast? Because that Keeper Secrets can knock you down in 1 turn, and you've just basically given him the chance to bring another one in. So your 6 big monsters could quite literally be wiped out by turn 3 if things progress poorly for you.
Right.
So, and Flesh Eater Courts is kind of at the top right now. Well, Skaven's at the top too. Well, guess what? Skaven aren't too terribly worried about Slaanesh. I mean, yes, the Vermin Lords are, but...
Well, if you go like Molder,
Yeah.
you take Storm Vermin.
Yeah, if it's nothing but mobs and Jezzails who are plucking away those things. I mean, Jezzails can knock down a Keeper Secrets in a turn. So...
True. It is true.
I want to see when the top guys, the Jack Armstrongs, the Domus, those guys start playing this army and say, it's broke. I'll go, yeah, because he said so. But,
Yeah.
until I hear it from those kind of guys, Bill Souza and Matt Pashby and those kind of guys, when they say it's broke, I'll jump in and go, okay, it's broke. But I don't have the mad skills and the math hammer. You do, but I don't.
I don't know if I do. Let's not get crazy here.
Well, you're better at that than I am, for sure. For sure. So I'm looking forward to doing coverage of Tzeentch because the lore is really pretty cool. I'm not even finished with it yet, and I'm like, maybe I made a bad choice not jumping in on this.
You mean Slaanesh?
I did it again, didn't I?
Yeah. You're all over the place, Bill.
I am.
Do you smell eggs cooking right now? Is that what's going on?
Do I? No, but yeah, I mean, it's...
Well, yeah, the models are... I still... Zach, our buddy Zach, keeps posting his Keeper Secrets in our chat, and it's just like, damn, that model's good.
It's gorgeous.
So good.
Yeah. And, every one of those models in that release was just like, good Lord.
Yeah.
Just,
yeah.
They make you happy to, for those guys that have been waiting for so long for this to happen. And, I'm happy for them. I hope it is. I hope this is all just that initial run of, oh my God, they're so, it's a lot of times when a faction book comes out, it's like, oh my God, this is so OP. Look at this combo you can do. It's crazy good.
Unless it's destruction.
Well, unless it was Gloomspite, yeah, in which case you're just like, wow,
no.
They're not very, yeah. But I mean, we saw the same thing when Nurgle came out. Oh my God, nothing can ever fight that. You'll never be able to kill a Nurgle unit.
Right.
Yeah, okay, sure. So I'm not terribly worried. We have top men working on this project.
Yeah.
Top men. So we got anything else?
No, not really.
No? I don't think so. We took a long time with the Warhammer Fest stuff, but that was some amazing stuff that was coming out.
Yeah.
And
big announcements.
Yeah, it was huge.
I seriously can't wait to get my hands on that Sylvaneth book.
I know.
And see what that new stuff does. That looks so cool.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
What?
Did you just...
Thanks for listening to the show. If you have any questions, not about Sylvaneth.
I could have sworn I heard you say you wanted to see the Sylvaneth book, but I must be tired. Because that's not the Elric I know. Yeah. You're right, though. I want to see it. I really want to. Crazy cool. So.
Yeah. Should be good.
Yeah. All right. We're out of here, right?
That's it.
Cool. Thanks, folks. And thanks, Tristan, once again.
Thank you very much.
If you would like to get in touch with us, you can reach us on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/rollingbadpodcast, all one word. Our Patreon page is at www.patreon.com/rollingbadpodcast, again, all one word. The Twitter account for the show is at rolling_bad. And our individual Twitter accounts are, for me, at Bill Castello, Castello, and for Ryan, he is at RT Gamer. All of our guests on the show will have their contact information in the show notes, and any products that we mention will also be similarly placed in the show notes. The music for the show is used courtesy of Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com and used under the Creative Commons license.
Stormcaster, cool. Sorry, I'm looking at the...
Oh, that's okay. I can edit these pauses out.
Okay. Damn, man.
Troll Hag?
That is, yeah.
That is very cool.
Oh, sweet. Sweet. Okay, now I do have to get serious about my trogs. Stormcaster, cool. Stand by. Flying monkey con. Flying monkey. Oh, you know what? I don't need to go here. Hold on. Stand by.
I'm standing by. It's the beauty of editing, man.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is why we don't do a live show.
Although we should.
Stormcaster, cool. I can't believe you sent me a freaking troll hag.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is. That's bananas.
That's very cool. Now you got to do trolls.
Well, I planned on doing trolls. It's
yeah.
just the rest of Gloomspite. I'm just not
yeah, I know. I know, that's what you said.
Submit payment. Stormcaster, cool.
Then we're going to talk about something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, and Elric's going to do his best to ruin it. Oh, you looked up.
Sorry. All right, I'll put it away.
I'm kidding.
I'll put it
God,
away.
Stop it. Don't make me
Talking about my troll hag, not something else.
Oh, yeah.
That's staying out.
Yeah.
What?
You just made this dirty.
Yeah.
So-
Stormcaster, cool. Well, there you go.
Now
you have your Sylvaneth rant, Bill. Hey, you got the to put this one out for everybody. Nah, it's not as funny.
No, it's not even kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, that's a real shame, man. That,
It's the only one I've ever, because I just finished Plague War, and holy did that blow me away. I put that in the chat the other night. I was just like, when I finished it, I was just like, oh, that last scene, Guilliman. And the thing is this whole thing is set up by a fight between him and Mortarion that Mortarion runs away from. And then he just loses his mind on his militant apostolic. That Frater Matthew, that's, been such a key figure, he just loses his mind and he goes on a religion rant. Oh my God. He's like, I have to kill people because of your ass. You ever with me again and I will squeeze you like a goddamn zit. And I mean, he just, this whole time he's measured, he's Robute Guilliman, he's always cool with everyone. Oh no. He closes the door. He has the Victrix guard shut everything down. Nobody hears this conversation. Adeptus Custodi, you're with me in here. He's like, you're supposed to write all this down, but in reality, you're here just in case I decide to kill his ass. You stop me.
Now, who's he talking to?
To Frater Matthew, his militant apostolic, the ecclesiarchy guy he has to have with him.
That's right.
And he unloads. And the rage that carries on for like 10 minutes in this book is like, I'm sitting there driving and I'm like, God, Guilliman, you're awesome.
Wow.
It was probably one of the best book endings I've ever had with any of these 40K. And the thing was, there was like no shooting, no danger, no nothing. It was just that conversation was a Primarch unloading on the entire universe of this era. He's like, you all of this up and you're proud of it. You're so happy with yourself because you're a idiot. I'm like, wow, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, it's good. Anyway, let's get on to Slaanesh.